Hello everyone, welcome. This is Mod House Gaming. I'm your host Andrew. I'm here with Nick.
Hi, I'm Nick.
Yeah, and we're going to talk a little bit about his Ogre team here.
Yeah.
First off, what is your Ogre team's name?
Yeah. So as Andy said several times, I am playing Ogres. I've named the team Mandatory Ogre-Time. It's kind of a workplace pun, because I am a 40-year-old man and I love puns. But yeah, it sounds a little weird, but if you say it like a British football announcer, it really works. Mandatory Ogre-Time today, in trouble over incisive comments made on Twitter. Like, it works.
It works, yeah. No, that's definitely like a Blood Bowl vibe right there.
Like I can hear the Blood Bowl announcers like saying that as you're like on the loading screen.
It's great. Yeah. So what makes this team like really special?
Okay.
I guess.
So what makes Ogres unique in Blood Bowl is that they're terrible. What actually makes them special is that most of the team is strength 5.
Yeah.
5. Which the average strength in Blood Bowl is somewhere in the 2 to 4 range. Usually it kind of averages around 3. A lot of the like baseline humans, the orcs are like strength 3, and orcs are strength 4, humans are strength 3.
Yeah.
And
some of the orcs, yeah.
So you only have 3 types. That's the other thing. It's a very simple team. You only have 3 types of units. You have Gnoblar linemen, which are garbage.
Tiny little goblins.
They are literally just. You want to just get rid of. They're just there to be annoying and occasionally score touchdowns. And then you have Ogre blockers, and these are the backbone of the team. They're strength 5, movement 5, but they hit like trucks.
Yeah, super scary.
That is what basically the team is built around. Then you also have an Ogre run punter. It's basically the exact same as the blocker, except he throws a little better.
Or kicks.
Kicks. I don't know why you would throw the ball normally in an Ogre team. But that is the other special thing Ogres can do, is if one of these little guys, the little goblins, is holding the ball, the other guys can just pick the entire goblin up with the ball, chuck it, or kick it, across the thing. So that is really. Are you doing a question about strategy later? You'll edit this out.
Yeah, you're fine.
Are we gonna go deeper into strategy, or should I go into like my team strategy? Right?
I'll just ask real quick.
Okay, cool.
So you said a lot about the Ogres. Mm-hmm. What is your strategy with the Ogre team?
Yeah, so when I was looking at all the units, if you've seen me like on Andy's streams before, you've probably noticed when we play, I tend to play very aggressive. If it's 40k or there's stuff we've streamed, is a lot of like the Star Wars.
The Star Wars, yeah.
So I like playing aggressive, and I like being hard to kill. And you can do that in a couple different ways. Like when I play 40k, I'm hard to kill because I've got 100 guardsmen on the board. And if you can't answer that, they're just going to choke the objectives and be performing actions 24/7.
Exactly.
Or when we were playing like Armada and stuff, I insisted that I get to play Empire every time,
like,
so I could just here's 3 Star Destroyers, good luck, because if you can't shoot them off, they're going to shoot you off. So Ogres is a very similar thing, right? They're really, really hard to kill, and they hit like trucks. So they're not good at winning games. Like, just flat out, the most important thing you need to know if you're thinking about coaching Ogres is they're not good at winning games.
Yeah, I would say if you were to go into an Ogre game, you might win against the Ogres, but you might not have a team
don't
play
Ogres casually. They get better in league play though, because results move from game to game. So when I'm strategizing, I'm not thinking about this game, or I'm thinking about the league, right? Because I want to obviously score touchdowns, but I want to get as many casualties as possible so that I can upgrade my players with SPP.
Yeah, of course.
And then I want to injure as many of the opposing players as possible so that I have to sell them and get replacements, which means I'm blanking their upgrades, right? Because if they've spent SPP to upgrade a player and I rolled 16 on the casualty die, that person's dead, right? That's like 2 or 3 games worth of advancement just gone.
Yep, and that's Blood Bowl.
But my guys are still improving. So I am trying to play Bracket Buster. I want to just farm SPP, not really worry about winning any individual games, but get my Ogres as tough as possible, maybe get a few random little annoying skills on the Goblins so that when we go into the playoffs, because I'm guaranteed a spot in the playoffs, there's only 8 of us, people in the league, I'm guaranteed a spot in the playoffs. So when we go in the playoffs, I'm facing a bunch of beat up, crappy teams with no reserves, and I've got a full team with like 8 Gnoblars, and I can just popcorn them left and right, and my Ogres have a bunch of extra skills. They've got like block or brawler and all that kind of thing. They can just, and just that's what I'm hoping. That is the only path I see for victory for myself.
Is just murdering a bunch of people.
Is murdering everyone as much as I can during the season, and then hoping that everyone is just so bruised by the time we get to the playoffs that I can just step over their corpses to the trophy.
That's fair. That is a sound strategy, and we'll see if that pans out for you.
We'll see how it goes.
Speaking of like teams, and you're thinking obviously about future games. I want to ask you, who are you most looking forward to pounding? I guess.
There's a couple teams. So the easy answer is, of course, I love facing halflings because they only have 2 models that can conceivably survive a block, and that's the 2 treants. So my goal is to kill those things as fast as possible so that he has to put as many halflings, he has to put at least 3 halflings on the line every time, right? Because that is just free points.
Yeah,
right?
that's fair.
Every halfling head I stomp in is 2 SPP.
So just farming out Justin and that one match is great.
If I can farm Justin, and if I can get rid of his treants, like, they're too expensive. He's not going to be able to buy it.
It would be very difficult.
If I kill one of his treants mid-league, he's not going to be able to buy another one. And that would
be really scary for him. Yeah. We'll see on, I forget what week you play, but we'll see when you face him. That seems
also,
really interesting.
I know that
go
leads
for
in your next question.
You're good.
I think I have a good matchup against lizards because they only have one strength 5 model. That's the Saurus, right? And
the Croxagore. Yeah.
Croxagore, and one of our lizard players isn't even taking a Croxagore.
But both are taking.
Both are taking a Croxagore.
Yeah.
Somebody's not taking a rat ogre, right?
Yeah. That's Darren. Darren is not taking.
That's a mistake. Buy one before our match, Darren. Because they have strength 2 models, right? They have the chameleons.
They have the skinks and the chameleon skinks are both strength 2.
Those are both strength 2.
And then they have Saurus warriors that are strength 4, and then the Croxagore is 5.
So, if I'm kicking off and I put 5 ogres on the line, how do they answer that?
Yeah, no, that's very difficult.
It's either they commit all of their Sauruses and the Croxagore, and then I just run, my 6 gnoblars around and tag up all their little guys, and they just take turns dodging out of each other's things, fighting for the ball. And I can probably, over the course of a half or a game, I can probably get 1, 2, 3, 4 injuries on a Saurus, and if I'm lucky, I can take the Croxagore out. And that is I have a kill list. I want to kill everybody else's big guys. Because if nobody has a human ogre, if nobody has a treant, if nobody has a Croxagore, if nobody has a rat ogre, I'm walking into the playoffs unopposed at strength 5.
Yeah, that's true.
Because they have to commit at least 2 models to every single one of my ogres to have a chance of getting a 2-die block or even a 1-die block.
Yeah, that is fair. I would say that you have a very good chance against lizards, for sure. I would say that the armor roll on the Saurus is something to think about as well. Armor 10 is really good. And of course armor 11 for the Croxagore.
Armor
11. Yeah, just like no.
Wow,
I'm pretty sure. I could check again.
That can't
real
be
quick.
Right.
Let's double check.
Oh, no, it's armor 10.
It's armor 10.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I don't
they're all
think
armor
there's
10.
anything armor 11 base.
There is something. I forget what, but
Is it like the
anyways.
death roller or something?
Probably. But yeah, our armor 10 is something not to laugh at. But with your mighty blow on like 6 guys,
I only need a 9 on the dice.
That's
if we're playing
really
playing at the home team, all it takes is one bad kickoff event table to get changing weather, and I only need an 8 on the die.
Yeah, and that goes into my next question. What do you think about your home field advantage? Like, what is so special about your pitch that you think you can just win games on?
We just did a practice game with it, and it's really, really good. It's like all the pitches that it's 2 effects, and there's a triggering condition to switch to the harsher effect. The first one, the wind, just makes the games a little bit less consistent, which is fine. Ruining the opponent's plans is good because my plans are rarely consistent because they rely on ogres who have a chance to bonehead. Right?
Exactly.
So I have to.
It's risky.
The only consistent units I have are gnoblars, and they're strength 1, movement 5. Right? They're there to be annoying and to get punted and to sidestep things. Like that's what they do. But if we roll on the weather table, we have the blizzard, right? And the blizzard is great because it ruins blitzes, which is fine for me because I'm strength 5, right? I'm still going to be doing fine on blitzes. Most of the time I'll be strength 4, which is still a 2-die block on a lot of units if I'm like blitzing alone. We forgot some of those in the back half, didn't we? Because I blitzed a few times. I don't think it would have changed.
It wouldn't have changed anything because you had a lot more players than I did. In the practice match, he was destroying me. Yeah.
But more importantly, it adds 1 to the armor pen roll every single person makes. Which, okay, sure, it murders my gnoblars a little fat, but I'm armor 10.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
armor 10. You're
So people have to get 9s on the
Tanky.
die, which I think is at least a standard deviation or 2 up from the average of 7 on 2d6.
Yeah.
Whereas people who would be going from 9s are now on 8, and people who were 8s are now at 7s, which means on average or slightly above average, I'm getting injuries. Which is what I want.
I would think since we all have 5 home games, 5 away games, you're gonna have 5 of those games that are just absolutely farming people.
Yeah.
Which is gonna be great for you.
If we roll changing weather, which I believe is the most common on the kickoff table.
When you do half, no, so that is not the most common.
Mhm.
But when you do half change, no matter what, in the second half, you have to change the weather. So it automatically becomes wizard in the second half, no matter what.
So
it just it so happened in our practice game.
It just happened really fast.
Really fast because
it happened on the first kickoff.
Yeah. And we were just like, oh well, I guess it's a blizzard now.
Yeah. Which you don't want to be against.
Yeah, no,
my
it's
Ogres
terrible because it's a special blizzard, as he said.
Andy, you lost what, 6 players?
I had 6 casualties, 3 of them which were missed next game. So I would have had missed 3 guys in my next game, which
one
is
guy who almost
terrible.
died, but luckily
yeah, I had an apothecary for the guy that died, and then I had maybe 4 players left on the field after that. Yeah, because the rest of them were KO'd.
Yeah,
because it was just
constantly
insane.
KO'd. You had 6 players KO'd at one time.
Yeah, and like I was literally laughing because I had a pile of KOs.
Yeah, you had, there were points where you had 2 or 3 models on the board, and that was your entire team.
Yeah, and that's insane. You were talking again about like how you're just gonna murder a bunch of lizards. Week 1, you're facing the lazy lizards. What are your feelings and thoughts?
I think that's a pretty good matchup. I think a lot of it comes down to how quick I can get the Croc score off the board.
That's
because it will get off the board.
You hear that? Why he's aiming for you?
Yeah, there's a world out there where Y just doesn't field her Croc score against me. She keeps it in reserve the whole time because she wants it for the rest of the league.
But even then, I don't think that could happen.
That's worse, because then I just start murdering Saurus left and right, because they're strength 4 and I'm strength 5. And how many Saurus does she have? Like 3 or 4?
4 right now.
4, right.
Yeah.
I've got 5 Ogre blockers and 1 run punter,
Yeah, so no matter, you outnumber her in Ogre.
I'm getting 2 die blocks.
Yeah. It's going to be scary.
It's going to be scary. I think it's a good matchup for me. There's a lot of tricksy stuff she can do with passing and with the chameleons.
Chameleons can pass a little bit. I would be more scared of the skinks. They're fast. They're fast. They're like stunty and dodge. Yeah, they're movement 7, I think.
Movement 7. Yeah. They go for it. They're stunty. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So you just gotta watch out for those.
It's gonna be hard.
Yeah.
I would be surprised if I won that game. I might be able to fight her to a tie. But I don't think her team's going to be in very good shape going into the match after me. Whoever she faces after me, I'm going to go ahead and just hand you this W right now.
And then you get her right again in week 3, which is it's just insane for Y. I feel really bad, but we're going to see how it goes.
You might just be out of the league after that point. Because
Aww.
I don't know what you're going to have left.
Bunch of skinks. That's about it, probably.
Just hope you don't roll me in the playoffs.
Yeah, no, I think in the playoffs it's going to be still division based, so she could still face you. We will do that by league standing. But yeah, thank you so much again, Nick, for your input on your mandatory Ogre-Time. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to getting started.
Hey, week 1 starting soon.
Coming for you.
See ya.
See ya.